too fast, I'm driving too far. I'd like to change my point. Going out into the night. Can't go a minute without your love. Oh, love. I gotta. Slight left.
Jest rzeczą rozpaczliwie tragiczną, że ten kraj, który ma tylu najbardziej w świecie ujmujących, cywilizowanych, inteligentnych i patriotycznych ludzi, spychany jest wstecz.
So Thomas, what have we got there?
I got coconut, traditional Hungarian chimney cake.
And have you ever had that before?
Yeah, when I was in Budapest.
And so take a bite and tell people, show people what it's like and tell them what it tastes like. Let's have a look. So what does that taste like?
The bread's got like a tiny hint of lemon. And then the coconut just makes it amazing.
Fantastic. Let's get going. Explore Gdansk. So we've just been in St. Catherine's Church there, which actually suffered a fire in 2006. It's the oldest in the city. But we're now in Dominican Square, and there's this market on. It's called the Dominican Fair, and it lasts for 3 weeks every year. It's meant to be a major event, so let's see if there's anything of interest. Ridiculously big church. Tom, do you want to we'll do a panorama photo?
What's he doing?
We're in Gdansk now. We've just been exploring the old town. It's really pretty, much prettier than I expected it to be honest. Really, really beautiful. A little bit reminiscent of kind of mix between Poznan and Amsterdam, or something like that. We first went to the Solidarity or Solidarność Centre before, and of course I remember Solidarity from when I was a kid. And my feelings, I don't really know what to make of them, because on one hand it was a genuine working class movement that, you know, rose up against injustice. But on the other hand, you know, their enemies with the Communist Party who were meant to stand for the working class, and sometimes you wonder if they were perhaps used by certain forces who didn't have the strikers' best interests at heart. But it was very interesting, and I have to say, you know, you look at Lech Walesa and he looks exactly like a trade unionist. We're now on a little boat trip, and we're going to go up to a place called Westerplatte, where something very important happened about 70 odd years ago. Let's have a look. Our trip, by the way, is on a pirate ship. I'm not quite sure of the relevance of pirate ship, but that's what we're on. And this is the old harbour in Gdansk, and this building here is very famous. It's a crane. I think it's the oldest crane in the world, or the biggest old crane in the world, something like that. So I'm at a place called Westerplatte, and this very nondescript building is actually very important in world history. It's a guardhouse. It's called Guardhouse Number 1. You can see there are bullet holes in it. It's not where it originally should have been. They actually moved it slightly when they widened the harbour. But the reason why this is important is that the first shots of World War II were fired here. So Danzig, as Gdansk was then, was a majority German city. It was not officially part of Germany. It was after World War I, when the independent Poland was created, it was made the free city of Danzig, but it was a free German city, and of course very close to Germany. But the Poles had an outpost here Westerplatz, on the kind of the mouth of the harbour, I guess, to check that the Germans weren't being too militaristic. And here in 1939, shots were exchanged. Guards houses 1, 2, and 3, but this is the first. And this was the pretext that Hitler used to invade Poland, which of course brought Britain and France into the war, which then escalated into a world war. Because he had gone into countries before, Austria and the Sudetenland, but they had been more or less peaceful annexations, particularly the Austria one. And of course, shots were fired in the Far East and in Manchuria as early as 1936, but this is seen as the place where World War II started. So there we are.
Cup of karaoke.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life was old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia.